The film begins by introducing Lin Nan, a renowned director from an animation production company, who was holding a press conference to showcase his latest project, an animated film featuring top voice actors from China. During the event, Lin Nan suddenly instructs his team to mute the sound of the anime clip being played in front of the press, leaving everyone confused. When asked about the missing audio, Lin Nan provides no explanation, simply stating that they are focused on delivering the best quality visuals and sound. He then asks the audience to appreciate the visuals for now, assuring them that the sound will be perfected later. The scene shifts to Lu Shi, an employee working at a coffee shop. Despite her current job, Lu Shi dreams of becoming a voice actress. Meanwhile, after the press conference, Lin Nan is scolded by the producer for his decision to mute the audio in front of the press, warning him of potential losses. However, Lin Nan remains confident and assures the producer that he has a plan to keep the investors on board. Later, Lu Shi attends an interview at Lin Nan's company, hoping to join the voice acting team. While practicing in a nearby room, Lin Nan, who is changing clothes in the next room, overhears Lu Shi saying something inappropriate and mistakenly concludes that she is unfit to work with him. Lin Nan also notices someone spying on him through the curtain, further fueling his suspicions about Lu Shi. As a result, he immediately orders his assistant to inform security about a suspicious woman in the building. Although Lin Nan hasn't seen her face, he recognizes Lu Shi's voice, and during the voice actor auditions, he asks her to leave the studio. Lin Nan firmly tells Lu Shi that she is fired. Confused, Lu Shi tries to ask Lin Nan why she is being dismissed, but he replies that his company has a good reputation. At that moment, Lu Shi realizes that Lin Nan misunderstood her accidental peeking through the curtain and tries to explain everything that happened. Unfortunately, Lin Nan remains resolute in his decision to fire her. As Lin Nan was about to leave, Lu Shi tried to stop him, but her sweater got caught on his car. Noticing this, Lin Nan stepped out of the car and handed his coat to Lu Shi. He even offered her a ride to the cafe where she worked. During this time, Lin Nan observed how Lu Shi worked from outside. That night, Lu Shi felt excited after receiving a message from Lin Nan, asking her to meet him the next morning for a reassessment of her performance. The next morning, Lu Shi met Lin Nan again, who informed her that she would be working at the reception desk for a while, as the voice actors had already been selected. Because of this, Lu Shi decorated her desk with anime figures she admired. At one point, Lu Shi tried to sneak into the voice actor auditions taking place nearby. From outside the room, she watched the voice actors in the recording studio, all hoping to join Lin Nan's animated film project. Inside the studio, Lin Nan criticized one of the voice actors for lacking enthusiasm and professionalism. Upset by the critique, the voice actor chose to leave the room. With no one left to continue the session, Lin Nan stepped in and performed the voice role himself, impressing Lu Shi as she watched from the outside. When Lin Nan noticed her observing him, he became uncomfortable. Unexpectedly, it is revealed that in the past, Lin Nan once dreamed of becoming a successful voice actor and worked hard to achieve that goal. However, his talent was not fully appreciated by audiences or critics. After failing to win an award, Lin Nan's confidence was shattered, leading him to avoid voice acting altogether. The following morning, Zhou, a member of a prominent family, decided to carve his own path in voice acting. Apparently, Zhou was the actor Lin Nan brought in to replace the person who had left. In short, Lin Nan introduced Zhou to the team and instructed him to truly understand the character he would be playing before starting the recording session. At another moment, Lu Shi, with determination, encouraged Lin Nan to show off his voice acting talent again. Lin Nan ignored her and walked away, but Lu Shi kept following him, urging him to give himself a chance because of his talent. Lin Nan began losing his patience and even threatened to fire Lu Shi if she brought it up again. Scared, Lu Shi promised not to mention it anymore. On the other hand, Lin Nan's assistant showed him a video of his argument with the voice actor he had fired earlier, which had now gone viral on the internet. Lin Nan remained unfazed and told the assistant not to worry, as Lin Nan planned to release the original footage of the voice actor from the company's security cameras to clarify the situation. As Lin Nan exited the building, a group of reporters was already waiting to ask for clarification about the viral video. At that moment, Lu Shi hurriedly stepped in to shield Lin Nan from the press. Although Lin Nan felt uncomfortable with the situation, he thanked Lu Shi. On another day, the voice actor that Lin Nan had fired returned to negotiate after releasing the damaging video that hurt the company's reputation. Shortly after, Lu Shi entered the room, revealing that she had hacked the voice actor's phone. She warned him that if he didn't delete the video from social media, she would leak his private messages with various women. When the voice actor tried to grab Lu Shi's phone, Lin Nan stopped him and warned the voice actor not to touch her. Left with no other choice, the voice actor agreed to delete the video and issue a public apology. As a gesture of gratitude, Lin Nan invited Lu Shi to the recording studio to begin training with the other voice actors, making her feel overjoyed. A few days later, the voice actor met with his manager and informed him that he planned to do an interview with Yi Chuan, a rival director of Lin Nan. Meanwhile, Lin Nan gathered his team to share their aspirations in voice acting as a way to ease the tension before an upcoming seminar. Everyone took turns telling their stories until it was Lu Shi's turn. She explained that she had graduated from school 2 years ago and had worked on small voice acting projects. She also shared that her father, who had been a tour guide, had passed away some time ago. Hearing Lu Shi's story, Lin Nan quietly admired her determination to pursue her dream of becoming a voice actor. After the meeting, Lin Nan advised Lu Shi to focus on developing her skills before fully stepping into the world of voice acting. The next day, during the seminar, Lin Nan announced that there were 7 characters in his project, and each role would be contested by 2 actors. Not only that, Lin Nan also encouraged all the voice actors to train hard to become the best in China. Later, Zhou met with his brother, who tried to persuade him to return to their family business. However, Zhou stood firm in his decision, saying that his father's company was not the right place for him. Overhearing the conversation, Lin Nan's assistant approached Zhou's brother and explained that Zhou was a highly talented voice actor, highlighting that the anime industry had a large audience and generated billions of dollars annually. As a result, Lin Nan's assistant suggested that Zhou should continue to follow his own path. As for Lu Shi, Lin Nan emphasized that mastering emotional expression was the most crucial skill in voice acting. This pressure made Lu Shi anxious, causing her to refuse to join her colleagues for lunch, as she preferred to practice. When she returned home, Lu Shi also skipped eating, focusing solely on practicing sad emotions, believing that she could capture the expression better by fasting. The next day, weakened from not eating, Lu Shi fainted in the studio just as she was about to start her performance. Because of this, Lin Nan told Lu Shi that starving herself would not help her truly understand sadness. Instead, Lu Shi needed to genuinely understand the words she was saying and convey those emotions to the audience so they could believe in her performance. After returning to the studio to record, Lu Shi fully absorbed Lin Nan's advice, and her performance was a success. This achievement brought Lu Shi to tears of joy as she left the studio. In short, Lin Nan followed and praised Lu Shi for her accomplishment. At that moment, Lin Nan recalled the doctor's warning that he should stop voice acting due to severe damage to his vocal cords. The upcoming surgery on his vocal cords also carried the risk that Lin Nan might lose his ability to speak. At the end of the day, Lin Nan assigned roles to the trainees and gave Lu Shi the role of a mother, marking the beginning of her career as a professional voice actor. On another day, Lin Nan visited the orphanage he often frequented. At that moment, the director mentioned that a girl claiming to be one of Lin Nan's biggest fans was visiting. When Lin Nan heard the name, he realized that the fan was Lu Shi, who was telling a story to the children in the orphanage's studio room. As Lin Nan drove Lu Shi home, he noticed that her audio equipment was damaged, so he offered to fix it. When they arrived at Lu Shi's home, a middle-aged woman, one of her neighbor, approached them, teasing that Lu Shi had brought home her boyfriend. At that moment, Lu Shi quickly explained that Lin Nan was her boss and asked the neighbor to head home. Some time later, at the company, Lu Shi signed a contract with Lin Nan to begin her voice acting training, and she started calling Lin Nan boss. However, Lin Nan immediately stopped Lu Shi and asked her to simply call him by his name instead. During the training, Lin Nan gave feedback on everyone's performance, but he wasn't satisfied with any of them. This made Lu Shi anxious, fearing her own performance would also be criticized. Lin Nan then took the trainees for a long run to improve their stamina. During the run, they encountered Yi, the most famous voice actor in China who had won numerous awards. Later, Yi visited her brother, Yi Chuan, who was also an old friend of Lin Nan. When Yi asked Yi Chuan about Lin Nan's whereabouts, Yi Chuan told her that Lin Nan was traveling. This raised Yi's suspicions, especially since her brother kept giving her different reasons every time she inquired about Lin Nan. After searching for some time, Yi managed to find Lin Nan's company address and went to meet him. At that moment, Yi asked Lin Nan why he and Yi Chuan parted ways after building a successful company together. Hearing this, Lin Nan explained that it was simply a matter of differing perspectives. One day, Yi invited Yi Chuan to dinner, hoping to reunite her brother with Lin Nan after years of separation. During the dinner, Yi mentioned that she had joined Lin Nan's voice acting team because she believed his company was better. Meanwhile, Lin Nan took Lu Shi for a walk along the waterfront to encourage her before her upcoming voice acting performance. Hearing that Lu Shi had lost confidence after meeting Yi, Lin Nan reminded her that if she didn't believe in her own talent, no one else would either. The next day, Lu Shi was in a bad mood. At the cafe, her brother teased her with childish remarks, making her even more upset. Meanwhile, Lin Nan, observing from outside, devised a plan to boost Lu Shi's confidence. He collaborated with the cafe staff to ask Lu Shi to read a story aloud using her voice, and afterward, they praised how unique and beautiful her voice was. The plan worked, and Lu Shi regained her confidence. When she noticed Lin Nan standing outside the cafe, Lu Shi realized that he had orchestrated the entire thing. Grateful, Lu Shi immediately changed her clothes and joined Lin Nan for a trip to the beach, where she excitedly shouted that she loved voice acting and would one day become a great voice actor. At that moment, Lin Nan gave her a voice recorder to practice and told her there was an important event the next day, and he wanted her to attend with him. At the meeting, Lin Nan sat with Yi and Yi Chuan. As a result, Lin Nan was reminded of the days when he and Yi Chuan were inseparable, chasing their dreams together, which now filled Lin Nan with sadness. After Lu Shi arrived, Lin Nan left the table. At the same time, Yi Chuan noticed Lu Shi and realized she was the same girl he had once taught to voice cartoon characters. The scene then showing a flashback where many of Lin Nan's fans had gathered, waiting for him, but Lin Nan didn't show up because he was ill. When the fans found out, they turned on Yi Chuan, and unexpectedly Lu Shi came to his rescue. Because of this, Yi Chuan had never forgotten that moment, and now, 6 years later, they met again. Meanwhile, Yi complained to Yi Chuan about Lin Nan ignoring her. However, Yi Chuan explained that Lin Nan was always distant when it came to work. That night, Yi went to Lin Nan's room to confess her feelings for him. Unexpectedly, Lin Nan politely told Yi that he only saw her as a sister. A few days later, Yi appeared and apologized to Lin Nan for her behavior the previous night. However, Lin Nan reassured her that it wasn't a big deal and there was nothing to worry about. Yi then expressed her desire to take on the role that had been given to Lu Shi. Despite her extensive experience in the voice acting industry, Lin Nan refused. He added that if Yi took too many roles, it would take opportunities away from other voice actors. The next morning, Lu Shi gave Lin Nan a hoodie as her token of appreciation for his mentorship. Afterward, Lu Shi met Yi Chuan, who took her on a tour of the company. On the day of the performance evaluation, Lin Nan harshly criticized the trainees, saying their skill level was far below that of Yi. Hearing this, the trainees protested, pointing out that Yi had more experience and had even studied abroad. When Lu Shi tried to explain their point of view, Lin Nan snapped at her and told her to leave along with the others. As a result, the trainees later went out together to comfort each other. In an effort to change the situation, Lu Shi took Lin Nan to visit her fellow trainees and showed him how each of them had other responsibilities or jobs besides voice acting. Lu Shi explained that their lives were full of challenges, something Lin Nan might not fully understand because his life had always been easier. The next morning, Lin Nan addressed the trainees, explaining that he had been tough on them only to push them to reach their full potential. Although he didn't apologize directly, they understood his intentions. The trainees then promised to fully commit to the training that Lin Nan was providing. On another day, a press conference was held to announce Yi's return to the world of voice acting in China. During the event, Ichuan kept signaling to Yi to mention the project they were both working on, but she insisted on only acknowledging Lin Nan's company, which left Ichuan very frustrated. Meanwhile, Lu Shi sent a message to Ichuan asking to meet him. At that moment, she thanked him for teaching her in the past and asked if he could help her get to know Yi better so that Lu Shi could learn from her experience in the voice acting industry. At the same time, Yi was with Lin Nan and once again confessed her love for him. Gently, Lin Nan reminded her, just as before, that he only saw Yi as his little sister, and that feeling would never change. Hurt by this, Yi left deeply upset. When Ichuan learned that Lin Nan had rejected Yi, he became furious and warned Lin Nan that if anything happened to his sister, he would never forgive him. In the following days, Lin Nan held a rehearsal and gave Lu Shi the role that was initially assigned to Yi after seeing her performance, as Lin Nan believed Lu Shi was perfect for the part. Overjoyed by the news, Lu Shi immediately told her father, but asked him to keep it a secret for now. Later, the producer visited the company and asked Lu Shi to demonstrate her talent. Nervous, Lu Shi stammered, which angered the producer. He scolded Lin Nan, accusing him of choosing someone who couldn't even speak properly for the lead role. Before storming out of the studio, the producer threatened to withdraw his funding from Lin Nan's company. Feeling guilty and crying, Lu Shi apologized to Lin Nan. As a result, that night, Lin Nan blamed himself for not being there for Lu Shi during her difficult time. The next morning, Lu Shi asked Lin Nan for a few days off to clear her mind. Lin Nan agreed, but insisted that she see a doctor first. When Lu Shi visited the doctor, she was told that her stammering wasn't caused by any disorder, but by stress. Not only that, Lin Nan also reassured her, saying that he believed in her talent, which restored her confidence. On another day, Ichuan visited Lu Shi at the cafe and offered her a position on his voice acting team, as he believed in her abilities. However, Lu Shi declined, saying she was committed to continuing her work with Lin Nan's company. Soon after, Lu Shi went on vacation with her father. During the trip, she received a message from Lin Nan informing her about a voice acting competition happening that day and expressing his hope that she could participate. Despite having to cut her vacation short, Lu Shi decided to join the competition. At the competition, Lin Nan wore the hoodie that Lu Shi had given him as a gesture of support. Unexpectedly, Yi happened to be one of the judges for the competition. During her performance, Lu Shi kept glancing at Lin Nan to calm her nerves. As a result, Lu Shi and her team performed exceptionally well, earning praise from the audience. They even achieved the highest score and won the competition. Overjoyed, Lu Shi ran to Lin Nan and hugged him. Following the victory, they went out to celebrate. Afterward, Lin Nan drove Lu Shi home, as she had drunk a little too much. Unable to hold back his feelings any longer, Lin Nan confessed his love to Lu Shi and kissed her. The next day, the producer asked Lin Nan to join his project as a voice actor rather than a director. When Lin Nan refused, the producer threatened to cut all funding for his project. Despite this, Lin Nan responded calmly, saying that no one could force him to work for them. Some time later, the producer returned to Lin Nan's company, and another argument ensued. This time, the producer threatened to keep all the voice actors and force Lin Nan out of the company. Lin Nan then informed Lu Shi about the situation, explaining that he would be moving to Beijing as he had found a great opportunity there. Shocked, Lu Shi asked about her future, but Lin Nan was determined to move, eager to prove to the world that he could succeed as a director. The next morning, the producer informed the team that Ichuan would take over Lin Nan's position as the director for the second season of the animated film. As a result, Ichuan called Lu Shi to his office and explained that Lin Nan had asked him to take over the project that he had begun. On another day, the producer held a press conference to recognize all of Ichuan's efforts. This made Lu Shi deeply upset. When she got on stage, Lu Shi openly thanked Lin Nan and told the press that he was the best mentor and the only one who believed in her talent when no one else did. She also announced her resignation from the project. Later, Lin Nan met with Zhou to tell him that he couldn't move to Beijing and leave Lu Shi. Hearing this, Zhou advised Lin Nan to speak to Lu Shi directly. Taking his advice, Lin Nan went to Lu Shi's home to apologize and swore that he would never hurt her again. After this emotional moment, Lin Nan told Lu Shi that she was the first girl he would love and the last. The next day, Lin Nan visited Lu Shi and proposed the idea of starting a company together. Excited, Lu Shi quickly agreed. They began brainstorming ideas for characters for their new project. After establishing their company, Lin Nan and Lu Shi soon found sponsors for their new animated film. Thanks to his reputation, Lu Shi won first place in a voice acting competition. Lin Nan even personally presented the award to her. The film concludes with Lin Nan deciding to return to voice acting once again. Moral lesson from the story: if you want to voice act like a pro, don't starve yourself. Sad emotions come from your heart, not your stomach. And remember, hacking your rival's phone may save your job, but it won't win you any Employee of the Month awards.